The most stressful part of the college applications was writing my college essay because I didn't really know what to write about at first, and it was hard to write about a moment or story that fully represented me and how to get myself across to all the colleges in a good way.
I'd say the most stressful part about applying to college is I'd say just getting everything done overall. Like there's so many things that you need to get done, like your transcript requests, your recommendation forms, everything that you need to do just is just an overall stress.
Constantly people are talking about oh, where are you going to go, where are you going to study, oh my god, you only have this score, how are you going to get in there? So it's the anxiety of being a disappointment almost to your friends and your family, and the competition among people that you I don't know. I guess that's the word. That seems really harsh, but I mean that's kind of what it is. It's the anxiety of just going somewhere where you fit, but people want you want to be accepted by where you go.
The writing supplements, some of them are really confusing, and they ask you really stupid questions that don't make any sense. Yeah.
Writing all the supplements, because every school, at least the ones I applied to, had 3 or 4 supplements at the minimum, and I applied to 8 schools, so that was a lot of writing.
Probably the essay, because it's pretty broad and you don't really know what you want to write about at the start.
Going on Naviance and seeing the SAT scores that they wanted me to have.
I would say it's tough to ever be fully represented by what's on paper, because these college admissions reps don't know who you are personally, and I feel like obviously that's unfair because they don't know if you're actually a good person, because a lot of people can not lie but butcher some of the things they put on their application, so it's a little bit unfair, but it's okay.
I didn't think I was fully represented because my college essay only shared a small part of my life, and my resume also only shared a portion of my volunteering work and my clubs that I did, and didn't show other aspects of my life, so I don't think it shared a full vision of where I came from, no.
Transcripts and essays, SAT scores, they only show a part of you. I think it's great when colleges do interviews, because then they're able to see who you really are as a person and get to know you a little bit better. But I feel as though the SATs and then the GPA, it's all just a numbers game pretty much. With the big schools, it kind of makes sense that they can eliminate a bunch of people, but other than that, it doesn't make any sense.
If you cared about something so much, it's going to be a lot longer than the amount 150 characters they gave you to talk about it. So no, I don't think they really did.
I had supplements for a lot of schools, so some of the time I felt like I could explain more, but my top school actually didn't have any supplements. I guess my essay was pretty representative of me, but not everything. And it's hard to understand someone's passion just from the activity resume.
I'd definitely say the essay was the most important, because the essay was the only time that the college could actually hear what you were thinking at the moment, because your grades are from the last 4 years. They don't know what you were going through or what you were talking about, or what you were thinking about freshman year versus what you were thinking about senior year.
I think they were pretty helpful. They told me how much or how likely I was to get in somewhere, what I should talk about, what I should make a point of emphasis, and my applications, and what my story should be when applying places.
I would say my guidance counselors were really helpful. They gave me a lot of tips along the way, and anytime I needed a meeting, they were always there for me. And my guidance counselor, Ms. Favruska, gave me a few schools that are now at the top of my list, so that was really helpful too.
Yeah, I mean, they helped me along the process, told me what my next step would be, and eventually got me to the end point.
Personally, my guidance counselor did not help me at all, so I did everything by myself. My mom did everything with me. She's my guidance counselor.
Very helpful. I actually decided a week before November 1st that I wanted to apply early, and my guidance counselor made that happen.
I'd say the guidance counselors were definitely the most helpful. They definitely made everything go a lot easier. for me, my guidance counselor like helped out a lot. He was always there to like answer questions and everything like that. And then even the teachers, I asked like the first two teachers I asked for college recs right away. They were like, yeah, so that was awesome. I think that everyone here was really supportive about it.
My guidance counselors were definitely really helpful. Whenever I had a question, I would email them and they were quick to respond. And my teachers always had good communication with me and let me know when they finished my recs. And yeah, I was definitely appreciative of that.
I did not do well in that category. I think it was hard because I tried to get it all done during the summer, but it's the summer, so I didn't want to do it. And then, November 1st wasn't too far after that, so it was a big grind between October 15th and October 30th just to make sure everything was in. And obviously, taking hard classes, you can't do both. So tests came up and schoolwork took a hit, but I guess it's for the future, so it was worth it.
I definitely prioritized college more than my senior year stuff, just because the senior year stuff, it's like you could go to a teacher and ask like get another deadline, because of like I think the teachers here are a lot like really accepting. They like know that college is like a huge burden and like you have to go through all that stuff, so they're like really understanding. But I definitely prioritize the college stuff, because the college stuff, like after that deadline passes, you can't submit stuff after that. Whereas for high school, you could obviously submit it like a day late and get like a few points off.
I forgot to write my essay for a while, and then I did it in a feverish 2 hours, and that was it.
What advice?
Right when the Common Application opened in August, I actually started pretty much right away. So I started in the summertime, which was definitely helpful, because when school started and I started to get a lot of schoolwork, I could, most of my college stuff were already done, so there wasn't really a balance that I had to do.
I actually did a lot of my applications over the summer. The Common App's pretty easy because it's pretty much just like the same for every school. You can just like click off stuff. Supplements were a little bit more challenging. I kind of procrastinated a little bit, and I ended up doing them pretty much at the last second, but I did get a lot done over the summer, and I got my essay done over the summer, which was super helpful.
Just sort of did it all at once, and I made sure to do my applications early-ish so that way I wouldn't get too stressed out.
I probably put aside an hour or two a night to try to get stuff done, and that helped me speed up my college process. So I had all of my supplements and my applications done by mid-October. So that really helped the rest of the fall for
me. It's not all about where you go to school. A lot of people really focus on the name, and I think here at Westboro High School there's a big stigma about going to a good school and just getting up to the standards of everyone else. But personally, if that's not who you are, then you shouldn't push yourself, and you shouldn't have to go to somewhere where you're going to be unhappy for 4 years. Just find what's right for you and don't worry about what other people think.
Don't let it take over your life junior year, because junior year should be a fun time. You've got prom, like you're touring places, but it shouldn't be like every 5 minutes you're checking your GPA, you're checking Power School, you're checking Naviance, you're trying to figure out what acceptance rates they are, like what scores they are. You're gonna go somewhere where you'll be happy, and if that's actually is college, if that's someplace that you never thought you'd go, if that's someplace you knew from the day you were born, you're gonna go somewhere you're happy. So you shouldn't stress too much about it.
I would suggest juniors, even sophomores, to visit all types of school, because I thought I had picked out a school that was like in the city, but then I visited a school in the suburbs, which is now my top school. And yeah, so I would suggest to see all types of schools in different locations, and I would also suggest to start your Common Application early so that it's not stressful when the deadline comes up.
I'd say go early application. Like if once you get it off the way, it's just like such a big stress off your shoulders, and like once it's out of the way, you can actually like enjoy your senior year and everything like that.
Start in the summer. Start writing your essay, or at least brainstorming it in the summer. and pick like a weekend where you can just binge work all of your apps.
My top school is UMass Lowell.
I applied early decision to Dartmouth, and if I don't get in, fingers crossed, I will get in, but if I don't get in, Holy Cross is my next choice.
I was one of those who went into it knowing what I wanted to do in life, not really where. So it was a process of applying to a bunch of places and seeing how much aid I get and how much I fit in and the vibe. So I don't have an answer for you yet.
So I really like the University of Pittsburgh and the Villanova. So waiting to hear back.
Fairfield, James Madison, and UMass.
My top school is Quinnipiac.
Relieved.
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 Flustered?
Accomplished.